What's up, you guys? Sean Ross Sapp of WrestlingInc.com and the Wrestling Inc. podcast here with a very special guest, Ivelisse of Lucha Underground. Ivelisse, how are you?
What up? I am doing. I'm doing pretty good.
So,
how are you?
You're doing pretty good, but we heard about this injury. Explain how this injury happened.
Well, I can't really say because it's quite far ahead from the show, but it was definitely an accident. In there, it happens all the time, and even though it was very mentally tough to even process it happening again, it's I don't know. I've learned so much from the first injury that this one's pretty much like nothing. It's pretty much so far. It's a little over a week and a half from when it happened, and my foot literally almost looks just like the normal one. So the healing's going like super fast, Wolverine-like, literally. I've been doing everything that I learned, in favor of healing from last time that I got injured. So it looks pretty optimistic right now that I'll be back pretty fast.
Do you have a timetable of when you might be back?
I don't know 100%. I still have to see the specialist. And pretty much before I see the specialist, I was told, well, either you'll just, you'll have a boot for 6 to 8 weeks, or he might maybe have to do surgery, or because it was not his specialty, my priority doctor, sports doctor. But I pretty much had two fractures of like smaller bones in the ankle, and a sprain of the ligament, a halfway torn ligament, so grade 2 sprain of the ligament, and it's pretty much a little more than last time, but again, I learned so much from the first one, and for the first one I was out for so long because I did not do what I was supposed to do. I stayed working, flying, which I shouldn't do. I didn't know a thing about, because I had never fractured a bone before, and I did many things wrong in the first one, including number one, still working with it like that instead of letting it heal and keeping it up and all that. So I kind of just completely prolonged the healing process unknowingly because, again, innocent ignorance, because I had never gone through that before. But this time I am so beyond prepared that it's healed like lightning fast. So I'm pretty.
There are some that thought that working through the injury made you an even more sympathetic character on Lucha Underground, and I think maybe it did because, I mean, you have the intergender thing to overcome anyway, but now you're working intergender matches essentially, and you're crippled. So I mean that seems like a really magical team. Son of Havoc, Angelico, and Ivelisse. You three have fit together as well as any team I can remember. What has that experience been like for you?
That was definitely something that got locked in together, especially because of what happened with my ankle. But it was already gelling together pretty well because of how, each other's storylines were interlocking organically. And it just, it really sucked for me from my perspective, me being, for the first time in my life, being crippled, even if it was temporary. That was a very big mental monster for me, especially having to do it in front of the whole world, being the prideful person I am. But the level of loyalty that was shown to me by, Lucha Underground, definitely inspired me to be able to push through all that and be strong enough to push through all that. And, it worked out, I did my part, they did their part, and we were able to push through it together. And in the end, we come back, for season 2, and now we can actually be ourselves again. And, we have a quite a unique little dynamic there.
Now, I see this stuff from home, and, I know it's a taped show, so I know Angelico doesn't, die when he does these crazy spots. What is going through your mind when you are there and you are physically seeing it? Because he does some of the most psychotic things, and it's just breathtaking to see.
Yeah, I don't know. He's crazy. That's pretty much all I can think of. But yeah, he's done the craziest. He holds probably the most craziest moments a single person holds in Lucha Underground.
Oh, without a doubt. Now, I know you all are filming season 3. Have you been told anything about any future seasons, like a season 4 or anything like that?
We haven't. Even if I was told, I don't think I could discuss that. But I can definitely assure that everything is going in an extremely promising direction.
Awesome. What are your feelings on the intergender matches? I mean, you've really thrived in them.
Yeah. I mean, I love intergender matches. Like, when I first started wrestling, that's what I would do the most. Before I was signed with WWE, that's all I would do. I would wrestle guys all the time, and it's something that I really enjoy and, to a certain degree prefer. But I actually didn't start having to learn dynamics like in a female to female aspect once I was in WWE. And then after that, I was in Shine, so it was all women, and I had the Shine title reign, which was pretty, it's the longest Shine title reign, and that's where I kind of learned to do the female dynamic even more, and I love the fact that I love learning. Even with 12, so far 12 years of experience, I still love to learn. I love to wrestle everybody. I love to wrestle any character. To me is a puzzle, and a puzzle to learn from, and just, it's like art, every person, like, I love trying to figure out what would be the best possible story to bring out with this character. How would this character, react to my character? Or how would my character react to that character? And what story could that, provide, and all that? It's just, whether female or male, it's that puzzle that I love to try to crack,
You talked about your time with WWE. You and Son of Havoc were not strangers before this. You both competed on Tough Enough. I think
and Martin.
It's a true
Marty.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's a true testament of how well Lucha Underground utilizes people's talent, because they've made 3 stars out of that show, and there's only been one person that the WWE has even had on camera, and they haven't really been used that much. I mean, is that surprising to you that WWE didn't? I mean, I know you were signed for a little while, but that more of you from that show weren't at least given a shot on the main roster?
Yeah, from Tough Enough, I was technically the one, the only one who got signed to WWE that wasn't already signed. But yeah, me, and Martin and Matt were the ones utilized from Tough Enough, that WWE kind of like missed the ball or dropped the ball, however you say that saying, dropped the ball on, and, it sucked back then, and, once I went into WWE, I went into some issues, the political aspect of it and all that. But ultimately, in the end, we now have a great opportunity here. So, nothing goes in vain.
Do you ever hear from anybody else on the show?
Not really.
I thought that was one of the most compelling seasons I've ever seen, because you have Stone Cold Steve Austin in there, obviously, and that makes things a little more interesting. But there were so many people on that show, yourself and Son of Havoc included, that seemed like just like ringers. Like, how could you miss on these people? But they still managed to. You've also spoken about your time with WWE, and I saw you spoke out about the women's title. What were your feelings when the WWE adopted that? Because I know that was something that you wanted a long time ago.
Yeah. Yeah, I was very, very blunt with my intentions in WWE since the very first moment I stepped there. You know, I was constantly told, you know, don't wrestle like a guy, and I'm like, oh, that's pretty much what I do. I'm constantly told, you know, they would say, well, at least it's a good thing we have to pull you back, but, you know, kind of do a little less and, you know, try to do it more like feminine or whatever. And I'm like, oh, God. I kind of didn't really listen to that because that's not what my purpose or intention or goal there was. I just did it enough to get by. And also the demeanor towards us to a degree where literally I'm having a meeting here. You know, I'm in the school, the FCW school, and I'm having a meeting that's supposed to be like, you know, okay, hey, you know, this is an educational meeting. Hey, you know, any questions, you know, you're going to learn from this person. And then this person, when they say that, when they start talking, first thing that they refer to from women, is it's a bathroom break. And I'm like, what? Like, I don't even care. I just said, I completely disagree with you. I don't believe it's, you know, I don't remember exactly what I said, but I know everyone was looking at me like, holy crap, what are you doing? Like, I don't care. Like, I always was very outspoken, no reserves for what I believed in. And it's not like I was just trying to, you know, I wasn't being disrespectful or anything. I just knew that I knew that we deserved respect just as any other, you know, just as the guys or whatever. And that's what I wanted to, you know, bring to the table. And, you know, even on my Latin heritage, I was trying to, as a goal as well, I wanted to bring that to the table as well. And that was not very necessarily well received either. And, you know, I guess I was there at the wrong time, you know, wrong place, wrong time. And whatever, it just didn't work out. Maybe my strong character rubbed off the wrong way because they weren't used to that or something, or I don't know. But, you know, I always try to respectfully present my case, but, you know, I will do so strongly if you know, if it's not received in a respectful way. If I present it in a respectful way and it's not received in a respectful way, then, you know, obviously they're going to take whatever I'm saying as something negative because it's not what they want to hear. Like, yes, sir, okay, you want me to be a bathroom break? Okay, not a problem. I'll go, you know, show my assets and, okay, hi, with a smile on my face. Okay, yes. So if it's not if it's not what they want to hear, then it's okay, she has a bad attitude. Okay.
Do you think that mentality has changed based on what you've seen?
I mean, based from what I've seen now at the moment, I mean, I'm pretty sure it has. I hope. I mean, 'cause sometimes on the surface is one thing, and then, you know, not. But from what it looks like, I mean, they booked him, you know, to go at it, and you know, I from the match, how I saw the match, like they would have never. A million years before, and the time that I was there, would have even allowed them to attempt such, you know, spots or whatever. So obviously there's been quite change. It hasn't been instant, but, you know, with enough, not just me, but people like me with that same mentality, with that same, you know, tenacity, you know, even like Ric Flair's daughter, Ashley,
yeah.
I remember, like, right before I was leaving, she like had just come in, and you know, she's another one that had a lot of fire, a lot of determination, and you know, I'm glad that she's done her part to help that you know, that mentality of trying to you know, change for the better the women's the women's aspect of I'm pretty glad, because, you know, I wouldn't, you know, in a political standpoint, like, I'm nothing. So I have no pool, no nothing whatsoever. It's just me. I'm just like a nobody coming in a political aspect. So, you know, I feel like she with her incredible determination from day one that I saw, and you know, her incredible abilities, because she does have a gymnast background as well, and you know, she has a better political understanding of all that, because I hell did not at that time. I didn't understand how the whole politics thing worked and everything. Like, that really helped her move along well within there, all of that combined. And it's you know, so far it's, look, you know, WrestleMania, like, that's awesome. Like, I'm very happy for her, and I'm very happy for all the other girls too that have worked hard too in NXT, and I'm happy that they were able to do something that a lot of people have been dying to see, you know?
Yeah. You talked a little bit about your style. It's very, you've got a lot of MMA influence in there, and I know you were scheduled for a fight a few years ago. Did that happen, and is it something that you'd be interested in doing again in the future?
Actually, I was scheduled twice for a fight, and obviously all my wrestling stuff would get in the way. So that's when I decided, you know what, it's not even, there's no way I could do this. All, you know, at the same time. Like, when you're in MMA, the training aspect, like, completely takes up all your time. Like, it's every day. Like, you know, you have no time to go be doing, signings or go in a weekend and do match and then go straight right into, you know, I tried that years ago, and I ended up in the hospital with severe dehydration, to the point where the doctors say, how are you still walking? Like, 4 water IVs were put into me, and usually they don't do that unless people are, like, about to die. So, so I said, okay, well, I'm going to have to let go of the MMA, at least in the, you know, full-time degree. And, you know, I would continue with my full-time with professional wrestling, and then just, you know, here and there train what I can with MMA, for knowledge, because I love MMA. It's another beautiful fighting art form that I love. Here and there I'll train. It's been a little while since the injury from last year, but it's definitely something that I would like to eventually, like, delve a little seriously into, but I need to try to not get so injured from professional wrestling, so that I won't be, you know, all broken by the time I'm starting to do MMA, kind of like CM Punk making the turn, kind of, you know, a little too late from wrestling, because you're so broken from years and years and years of wrestling that after that point, if you try to go into something, you know, like MMA, that is so physically demanding as well, but even to the point where, you know, you know, they're not going to hold back how we're supposed to in professional wrestling to make sure that I continue in the match. It's completely backwards. They're going to finish you. So to be in that extreme position of physicality that far, you know, into your professional wrestling career, where you're just broken, it's like, I'm hoping I won't do that, but we'll see.
Just a couple more before we go. You're a very multi-talented person. I've seen videos of you singing on YouTube, and it's wonderful. And you're obviously an excellent actress on Lucha Underground, and that's building up your acting portfolio because of that unique nature of Lucha Underground. Yeah. I know that you're involved with some acting. Do you have any upcoming projects or anything like that with either of the two?
No. Singing is just something, no. But acting is definitely something I would love to, like, delve a little bit more into. It's something that Lucha Underground has facilitated opportunities for, and all these vignettes and everything, and it's so much fun. It's something I've been excited for, and I'm excited to continue to evolve with that. hopefully I can start doing some more acting classes. I want to get better. I constantly always want to get better and better. Just 'cause someone, just if I get a good feedback, that's like awesome. So then, you know what? I want to get better and better.
Also, back to Lucha Underground, we've heard rumors that Ricochet or Prince Puma might be leaving. We've seen that MVP is joining the ranks of the roster. What do you think of the possible rumors of Puma maybe leaving and MVP joining?
I have no idea about what is being rumored about Prince Puma. I really have no clue. I have no comment on that because I have no idea. But I mean, if he is, I mean, that's his decision. No one can really say anything about that. It's his decision. But MVP, he's been awesome. Especially from this injury. When it happened, he was very supportive. He's a pretty cool guy. And I think that he's a good asset so far because I think he began for kind of close to the end of season 2, and now for the season that we're filming now. I think he's a pretty good asset because he's a pretty straightforward person, and he has great knowledge of wrestling as well, and for promos and stuff. So I think so far he's been a pretty good addition.
Also, tell the fans where they can follow you on social media, find you online.
Where can they find me online? On Twitter, at Real Ivelisse, and on Instagram, at Ivelisse Velez. Those are the ones that I am at the most. So that's where you can find me.
Also, guys, be sure to check out our Pro Wrestling Tees page. She has some merchandise up there. Great stuff. And check out Lucha Underground Wednesday nights on El Rey. Ivelisse, I want to thank you so much for joining us, and get well soon.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I will. Trust me. I'm going to have everyone thinking, what the hell? Even the doctor, I promise.